perfect sight until 16 or so. Then it just started getting a bit worse. Classes didn't fix it. A lot of mucking about, and then eventually we found out it was something called Stargardt's disease. Then I was legally blind within about 3 years. 1 in 5 people will go through and experience some form of disability, either themselves or with their loved ones. My name is Brent Matthews. I'm an employee and a client of Guide Dogs Queensland. It got to a point where I realised I do need some help. I can't keep doing this by myself. I contacted Guide Dogs. This is my guide dog called JC. I've had her for a bit over 5 years now. To go onto the waiting list for a guide dog, you have to be competent with a cane. You need to know how to use a cane before you can use a dog, because you have to know how to get to where you're going safely before you can even think about, well, how can I make it a little bit quicker?
We could all have a disability anytime, and so it's important that all the stations are accessible to us all.
There's a big difference between low vision and blindness, and it's primarily about that concept of blindness. Legally blind doesn't mean totally blind. We use the phrase totally blind for those with no perception of light. So low vision is kind of this huge umbrella term of anything from not 100% perfect to able to perceive light. I'm legally blind, but I can still see certain things.
We all require public transport, and that's where the word public comes into it. After all, not all of us can drive a car. We can train people at Guide Dogs to the best of our ability so they're as independent as possible. But the frustration has been in the past that people with low vision, with all their skills, are not able to access railway stations and train and transport the same way that you and I can. People who have low vision or other disabilities definitely rely on public transport. And being public transport has got to be accessible and available to everybody with all disabilities. And that's our goal.
So one of the big reasons why it's really important to have members and varying members of the low vision and blind community involved in like the pre-discussion, the co-design, because it's a varied thing. Vision it's kind of a 3D spectrum. It's not an on or off, a black or white or that kind of stuff. My perspective would be completely different to someone who only has their macula working. So the big things that we've looked at and I've been so impressed by is the level of contrast that's being done. That makes the station a whole lot safer and easier to navigate. And then we've looked at some of the information and ways that information can be given to passengers that may have low vision or blindness. A lot of the information boards now have a lot of really good Braille on it. They've got raised letters, which are very easy for those that don't read Braille to be able to look out and locate. There's also the Braille map outside, which regardless of if you're low vision or blind, you're going to want to use that. It's a really easy way to quickly say, okay, I know where the train station is, I know the layout of it, and I can get from A to B safely. If it could become the stock standard for stations in Brisbane, it would be absolutely perfect. I think that would benefit the low vision and blind community immensely.